Back in the 70s, board games and improv theater had a baby, and it was called the role-playing game. These games allowed a generation of kids to live out their dreams of slaying dragons and saving kingdoms, all while sitting in their bedrooms and basements. Today, gaming has moved into the cultural mainstream, and role-playing games are back with a vengeance. Join us now as 5 of these former kids come out of the basement and onto the internet to experience adventure, mystery, and obscure pop culture references. It's time for Roll for Combat!
Hey everyone, welcome to Rule for Combat. I'm your GM and host, Stephen Glicker, and in this week's episode, the boys find their ship is blown up, so it's time for some disgusting hot wiring. So this week you'll notice the episode is a little bit shorter than usual. The reason for that is that I actually combined 2 sessions for last week's episode, which means that we only had a little bit left for this week's episode, and it kind of was a good stopping point. As I said before, since this is the last book, I thought I'd give you a little bit more behind the scenes of how we actually make the show and what goes into making the show. Last week's episode was actually a combination of a lot of different things. It kind of was a Frankenstein episode. I don't know if you could tell, but it was 2 sessions plus a custom intro that we did at a different point, and I combined it all to make one big giant episode. The downside is that this week's episode is a little shorter than usual because it's the aftermath, and I didn't really want to start sort of like a new chapter. You know, each episode in my mind is kind of like a television show. I try to put like a beginning, middle, and end, and as I've done more of these, I think I've gotten a little bit better at sort of stopping them at good points that doesn't interrupt the flow too much. Unfortunately, if I leached into the next session, which I could have done, I would have had to like really make it much longer. So it was either have the episode a little bit shorter or make it crazy long, and I just went for a little bit shorter because I've also had a crazy week at work, which, oh yeah, by the way, I also have a real life as well. So I do have to combine doing 2 episodes a week, one for Fall of Plaguestone, one for Dead Sons, as well as my actual life. So every so often, you know, I will have to combine and make the episodes a little shorter than usual. So anyhow, that is the probably overly complex explanation as to why this episode is a little shorter than usual. One thing you'll notice is that everyone is full of a ton of energy. Everyone's really, really amped, and that really continues throughout, well, the rest of the shows. I think it's just excitement of, like, you know, getting to the end, and everyone's just really having fun with their characters, and everyone, we actually just played the other day, and we even said, like now or never, like, start pulling out all the tricks and using every piece of equipment we have. It's kind of like at the end of a video game, you know, where you've been saving all those potions and everything you've had for like 100 hours, and you never use them, thinking, okay, I'm going to use these later, and then you never do, and then you know it's the end of the video game, and you're like, okay, what can I start using, because I'm going to finish this game, so might as well just start using this stuff. That's exactly what's happening. Everyone's looking through their sheets, they're seeing what powers they have, seeing what items they have, and everything's going to be used before this book is over. I'm really excited because it's coming. It's coming, I promise you. In a couple weeks, the game is going to change. The entire format of the show is going to completely change. I can't tell you too much about it, but let's just say everything you know about this show for 2+ years is going to be turned upside down. It is going to be awesome. I can't wait. We're getting so close. I'm just going to keep teasing it because it's amazing when it happens. You'll see. You'll see. Anyhow, let's get to this week's episode. Congratulations, you did over 1,000 points of damage this round of combat.
Doesn't seem like it, but okay.
Jason McDonald is playing the Ahsoka mechanic Tuttle Blacktail and his drone, Cheddar.
All right,
Nice.
And it looks like we're not worse for wear. Let's just move forward.
John Statz is playing the Vesk soldier, Mo Dupinsky.
No reason not to. Oh, wait a minute.
It was 126 of this. Sorry, 126 hit points each, and there was 8 of them. So you do the math.
Damn, that's a lot of it.
Chris Beamer is playing the Tiefling Technomancer, Akiro the Just.
Yeah.
And it's not like Akira used his best spells. Oh, wait a second, he did. Okay, that's good. Okay.
I got some left. As long as I have mirror image, I'm good.
Okay. You killed them all. You used up some resources. Your ship is on fire and exploding. Cool. What are you gonna do?
Well,
I think you should probably just
their
fight
ship
him,
is still here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to take their ship.
Bob Marquis is playing the human envoy, Rusty Carter.
Their ship is still here. That is correct.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's go on there.
A weird undead troop transport of some sort.
Oh
Well,
yes.
I actually would like to do a dose of the spider. I took some decent damage there.
Yeah. Okay. Do we rush over and try and save our ship
Yeah.
before
Well,
we do our 10-minute rests?
we're far away from our ship, though.
Well,
Oh,
we're-
your ship
we're
is
two rounds from our
exploding.
Our ship
It's
is
exploding.
Exploding is not the same as exploded. That's why I'm saying, should we run over to try and save it?
Oh yeah, sure. You could try. Sure. 4d8 plus 4. By the way,
I don't know what that number refers to.
That ship
Yeah.
is.
that is
that
how
ship
much
gone.
healing you get to do.
And
Jason,
the
if
little
you wanna
critter
roll
that
it.
was on the ship is also gone.
I'm a very technical engineer, and I'm saying that ship is not
I have never seen
Is there
anyone
any
with
way-
your engineering skill.
Is there any way we can repair it?
No, it's
Nice
gone, McCready.
roll
There's
from Jason.
And I need a fort save
Yeah, fort save
for side effects.
for
Very
side
nice.
effects.
Yeah,
Well, he's doing this. I'm
I'm
looting
going
the
over
bodies.
and I'm going
Oh,
to
one
Bad
for his
roll.
fort
examine the
save.
ship for visually.
That's another one. What do you know? What a surprise! 4. Oh boy. Uh-oh. This isn't good.
It's like a spider attack.
The spider has turned on me.
As you... it's so messed up.
I don't like it when he starts laughing.
It's so screwed up. Keely wrote this. Oh God.
What?
As you use the spider, you feel really good. You're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Except for one small problem. One of your eyes starts to swell. It continues to swell. It swells to the point of nearly bursting, and your optic nerves become able to send out and interpret X-rays.
Excellent.
When you close the other eye and concentrate as a move action, you gain sense throw vision, functioning like the X-ray visor in the Starfinder cool rulebook. However,
Nice.
unless you wear a patch over your enlarged eye, you have light blindness. So you...
So Tuttle is now Nick Fury.
It's so
No.
weird.
Okay, how is it that Tuttle just keeps getting transformed more and more into an actual
Yeah,
god?
you're like Ephialtes in 300.
I'm assuming / hoping this is a permanent condition, but you never know.
You can, if you concentrate, your massive eye can see in the X-ray spectrum, but you need to put an eye patch over you. Otherwise, you're going to be blind by the light because it's just too sensitive, man. That is weird.
Okay,
Wow.
to be fair, a
Wow.
rat with an eye patch would look really cool.
I'll give you something, Jason. Which eye do you wish it to be? Your left or right eye?
Oh, yeah. Oh, good thing you let him choose. Don't choose
You
poorly.
know what? 1 to 50 left, 51 to 100 right. I'm just doing it random. So that's left eye.
It's left.
Okay, I'm going to put a little marker on you so we don't forget that you have X-ray vision if you wish. And look it up. It's on page 221, the X-ray visor. You actually get that ability if you want.
I own
Cool.
an X-ray visor.
Yeah,
I have
it's
one.
okay to own one, but I mean, if you are one, I mean,
I
that's
tried to use it.
that
but it
just
didn't
goes
work.
toward Tuttle's godhood complex, basically. Like he's
Yeah,
he's
I know.
he's able to see into another dimension, basically.
Is it like a 6-demon bag? Can he...
Yeah, he's like he can turn on the Matrix if well, it might come useful. Probably not though.
He
Do
can
we
see
see-
things that other people can't?
It's a wind, fire, and all that kind of stuff.
So while he's doing that, do we actually do we see the other ship? Is it on the map? Is that something like we
Yeah. It's
forward?
there. It's there. Oh, that's it. Tuttle can see things no one else can see, do things no one else can do, real things as real as Lopan, or in this case, as real as Rusty. Hey, what more can a guy ask for?
You never. Okay, Dr. Tuttle, you never could beat me, Chen.
That's not 6 demon bag though.
Oh, a 6 demon bag. Terrific. 6 demon bag. Sensational. What is in that egg? Wind, fire,
Wind,
all that kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
Yes, I know, but it's
Yes,
Didn't
we
you
were
just
all
hear me
enjoying
say
it.
that?
We were
No,
all
'cause
enjoying
my-
it.
is my mic
I'm
on?
going to cut you out of the podcast.
I want credit for that.
Nice.
And the only reason I remember that is because it's actually a trinket in Classic WoW that someone got recently.
That's someone, by which you mean John Stotts put in.
No, I didn't do items.
Yep.
You once took credit for it.
No.
No, I did not take credit for that.
You might have been talking out of your ass.
Okay, you run over. You take a look at your ship. Your ship is, you're like, I think we might be able to save her as a large explosion goes off and both of the wings crumble off the ship and the cockpit collapses. You're like, might need a new coat of paint, however.
Wait,
Doesn't look good.
that's a Sunrise Maiden?
All right, engineering crew, get to work. Fix that ship. I'll be in my room.
What's that? The Sunrise Maiden. It's destroyed. It is. They did their job very well. They set off charges throughout the ship and exploded it. So yeah, there's their ship, which just happens to be an undead
Mo is
ship.
running toward it. Like while Rusty wastes his time like worrying about yesteryear, Mo's moving on to the new thing. Okay, so it's the new ship. It's
The new ship.
Rusty can live in the past if that's what
Cool.
he chooses.
Do you want to gather up loot?
No,
maybe?
I'll tell you. There's
Throw
nothing
the
here.
bodies on board, loot it on transport to our next destination. We'll throw the
Yeah.
bodies out the airlock once we're done looting them.
There's no airlock.
that
They're
sounds
open
good.
to space. You know that they're bone ships, right?
Oh, that's right. You people
Ooh,
breathe
that's right.
air. I mean, we people breathe air. Right.
What do you mean by we people?
Yes, we humans.
Small people,
and
small
other
people like Isoki. They're
Yeah.
they're small. They're we.
Yes, exactly. That's
The
it.
wee folk.
Thank you, Dr. Tuttle. That's exactly what I meant. The wee people, not like Vesk. Vesk are non-wee people.
Yeah. Well, regardless of all that, Mo is going to take the ship if he's only by himself. He's trucking it. He's
We're all
huffing.
getting on the ship. I'm saying just loot as we go. There's no reason to linger here.
Okay, you go on the ship. This is actually fun. Mo is like, everyone else is like, so Rusty is like trying to figure out how on earth to put the ship back together because it's like an old friend of his that just got killed. Akiro is going through the bodies. Cheddar is just sitting there as usual, being ignored by everyone.
Yeah.
And Tuttle has his eye 3 times
Spider
larger.
attacking his eye.
And he is now seeing into the 3rd and 4th dimension. And Mo runs onto the undead ship. And
I
And
have one quick uncomfortable question.
yes,
What happened to Crackers the space dog?
Crackers, the space
he still
dog,
on
who was
the-
on the
Dead
ship.
dog. Dead dog.
Now you see Crackers run out from.
Yay!
I
from
locked the door. Mo remembers locking the door before he left.
no, he got out as one of the
Ah.
pieces of the fuselage exploded. There was a hole, and Crackers was smart enough to take shelter.
And for that matter, did Akira have the squawks on him?
Yes, he had the squawks. There's 3 pets. All 3
Is it like
pets
the-
are still alive. And
Is
and,
that like the dog?
Basically, it's like
jumping
a
in
90s
Independence
disaster
Day?
movie where an entire city
Right.
is destroyed.
Yep.
But you see the dog leap over the bridge
Yeah.
at the last second to safety.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Independence Day. The tunnel explodes.
Yeah,
the
Right,
dog leaps.
exactly.
Stupid dog. Okay, so as soon as
What? How
The
dare
entire city of LA is dead, but the dog is okay. And
The
everyone's
dog's
here.
just fine. Don't
The
worry.
dog runs out from underneath the trees to the south. Here, wait, I'll put the dog on the map.
you don't really need to do that.
Look, there's Crackers. He's safe. He goes right up to Aeon Tuttle and starts licking him.
God. All right. So
Yay!
as soon
I feel better.
as soon as Mo steps onto the ramp that goes up into the, is it?
Yep.
Eoxian?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, "Mine."
Okay.
Okay.
You go to.
Claim
Okay.
as salvage rights.
Yep, you
International
got it.
salvage rights.
Now comes the fun part. You go to the bridge, and instead of normal controls, there is a cybernetic zombie on board, wired into the board. What do you do?
I'm gonna go back outside and tell Rusty, "Hey, it's one of your brethren. I mean, one of your people.
It's one of the weird people. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those weird people. Which stupid crackers is in the queue for turn order. That's silly.
No, that's important actually.
He's going to communicate that information to the rest of the party because that freaks him out. That's just wrong. That's even for a Vesk. That's just that's gross. That is just stupid.
He is Drawl. He is part of the machine.
Well, once we're inside, we'll just plug your brain into the ship.
Deal with
it'll be fine.
This to clear.
It's your ship, Mo.
Yeah, well, that's why I have engineers. That's why Mo has engineers to fix his problems for him, and he summons his MSU.
I don't think this ship runs on low octane fuel.
All right,
So
all right. I'm getting on the ship, and I'm going to command it in Eoxian. Ship, I am your new commander. Obey me.
Wow.
He just ignored your salvage transition.
Mo knows Rusty's
Well,
boss.
for one thing, I speak the language the ship does, so that helps.
The cybernetic zombie appears to be wired directly into the control board and appears to be part of the ship. It completely ignores Rusty.
Okay, that's a little rude.
Mo crosses his arms and sighs audibly.
Can I do an engineering check to figure out how we would
Yes,
give it
you
to
may.
I assist.
Yes, you may. Do you speak Eoxian as well,
successfully
and
assist.
Tuttle? Holy moly, a 42. Do you speak Eoxian, Tuttle?
I speak every language there is.
It's like, do you speak?
I am the Duolingo owl.
He has the quickening.
C3PO?
He knows everything.
Something like that.
At the prize.
It speaks the language of moisture condensers or whatever.
Are you Bobo? You're like, yeah, you figured this out. You actually go under the controls. It's really, really disgusting because this ship is basically, it's like Battlestar Galactica, like the new one with the fighters that are like half alive. And this case, they're undead, and it looks like the cybernetic zombie is tied directly into the controls and has locked out the controls using a command bolt. And it will not unlock the controls until he gets the proper command code from, the command ship. So it looks like they don't even control this ship. It looks like this ship was controlled, kind of like Independence Day again, where like the ship was kind of controlled by the mothership. It looks like basically the mothership needs to send in the command word to unlock the ship so that they can then fly it. However,
Can we run a bypass?
it looks like you could run a disgusting bypass, perhaps. It's going to take a massive computers check, even for Tuttle, but he thinks he can do it if everybody helped.
All right,
I have a high computer also, by the way.
that's great. You can actually assist them.
Massive.
Well, what's your plus?
Plus 25.
Mo is going to also assist.
All right, yeah.
He has Mo has a.
I'm plus 19,
I
so
success-
I should maybe take a separate roll.
Mo fails at his assist.
I'm thinking that
No,
yours is
we
so
need
high that
absurdly
I might as
high.
well do my
We
own
need
roll
absurdly
if you
high,
roll
just-
like a 1.
Well, then we're gonna wait and try.
But what if he rolls a 1?
Let Chris roll separately. Yeah,
And I roll a 20.
Rusty.
I would say my plus 2
All right.
is not going to make it or break it. It might.
It would have pushed it over 40.
Nothing.
That would have been useful.
What are you up to? So you're up to
39.
39.
39.
You go through and you're like, wow, not even close. This is going to take every ounce of his skills, every
Really?
ounce of concentration for him to make this roll. He thinks he can do it. He thinks it can be done.
What about? Can you take 20?
You could take 20,
Oh,
but
Is that even a thing? I forget if that's even a thing.
it is a thing. he probably could take a 20. However, as you're starting to hack the systems, you're seeing that there's other ships in the vicinity that might start investigating if these guys don't report in soon.
Well, that's why you did not roll, Akira.
Well, I can't. If I roll 20, it's a 39. So.
Yeah, so assist. That's great.
All right. So can you try again?
Oh, yeah, he can try again.
All right. So you get +2 automatically from me.
And me, actually.
plus
I forgot I had
four.
+9. I'm
I
on
was
automatic.
also going
assist.
to assist.
All right, Mo.
Wow, 19, 20. Wow.
Nice.
Okay, 3 assists. They're like, all right, this is disgusting.
All right,
We
come
think we can
on,
help
do
out.
it.
Are you trained? You're trained.
35 plus what? Plus
So 6 is 41.
Nope, not quite. Getting there though. But
Guessing
looks
we
like
need
you
a
might be.
45. Let's do it.
Might need a 50 on this one.
All right, so what this means is basically both Chris and I are automatic assists. John,
Yep.
John, roll.
Here's a next attempt.
There
Hey,
you go.
there we go.
Plus 6.
11.
37.
Ah, for-
That's 43.
No, you're getting closer though. You're getting better. He's like, I'm
Cheddar
getting
assist.
it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Fourth
He actually
attempt.
could if he had computers like this, but
No, I know. There's a way to train him in a skill,
Yeah,
at which point he could. Yeah.
Well,
Right,
to
Mo's
get a
assisting.
50, what we need is for you to roll a 19.
Mo does not
Or in
assist.
this case, you need to roll a 21.
Nope.
5 is not going to do it. You feel like you can do it. You're like, you know what? I can do it. I can do it. I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite there.
Mo is going to assist again.
Let's see.
Cut the red wire.
Oh, no fails.
Does not.
Come on. Come on.
succeed.
Oh, 5. 5 does not do it. He's like, man, this is gross. He's getting like necro,
Namicon.
what's it? No, he's trying to get
Fluids.
yeah, he's getting like the embalming fluids on him, and there's like other weird fluids in here, and like blood and motor oil and all this weird stuff.
Mo rolls a 1 for an assist.
Well, it would be helping if Aeon Tuttle can roll over a 10. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right
All
now.
right. So next round, I'm going to assist again. Rolls a 3.
Oh, Aeon Tuttle, what is going on? He's like cutting his fingers. He's having a lot of trouble here, man. Having a lot of trouble.
Going to roll again.
You know,
We're actually going to hit that
17.
20 mark.
I
I know
assist.
eventually you're going to.
Oh, he rolls a
Because
7.
20 rolls is the same as a take 20.
Jeez.
Well, not if Mo's assisting, because then
Assisting?
it's double.
Misses his assist.
Oh, you see, right now it's just kind of fun because we just want to see by the
Wow,
law.
it's not
No,
Average.
it's really not.
Wow, Mo misses his
Are
assist.
you rolling
again.
a d12 or a d12?
D-
Wait.
A 14. You finally got. Let me roll. Let's see if this thing's working. Yeah, I'm rolling 15.
All right, so Mo's going to assist again.
Oh wait, there's a 39.
That's
No.
a hit.
That's 45.
plus one.
Yeah,
Plus
just to
45,
change my luck.
45.
To change my luck, I'm going to do a raw D20 instead of the actual skills.
All right.
And
17
Oh,
plus what?
That's 48.
Plus
48.
6.
Is it plus? So what's the total, Jason? Is it 48?
17 and 5 is, or 17 and 25 is 40.
It's 49
Or no,
48.
42
Plus 6.
plus 6.
plus 6 is 48.
You know what? The actual DC is 49, but I'm going to say you make it because you have been futzing around and there's so much that you finally figured out how to bypass the damn root password and get access to the computers. And the thing comes alive.
That's crazy.
Huzzah.
What if no one has that? I mean, he's got the highest.
Yeah,
illness you can
that's
possibly
really
have.
ridiculous.
Then there are.
And he couldn't do it without assists either. That's craziness.
Yep. There actually were other ways to do it, but they were more disgusting and took more effort. So with that, you.
Well, let's
More effort
plug
than, like,
Rusty in
9
that-
rolls.
in that- Rusty,
Well,
Rusty, come
yeah.
over here. Lay down.
Yes?
Well, Rusty, maybe you should be wired in. Maybe that would help.
That's totally. the
No.
way to do it.
We're going to need. I think we should just wire our robot in. Let's put Cheddar in there.
No, that don't work.
Okay, so it's kind of a weird thing. So there's cybernetic zombies just sitting there. It's not saying a word. It doesn't say anything. It's just staring at you because it's like It's just there. It seems to be like the key to the engine. Tuttle managed to bypass it and now has root access, and you have command of all the roles. So you can do everything that you normally would do. Now, this ship is really weak. I think it's only like a level 5 ship or something like that. So there is zero chance you will ever be able to like survive a fight with this ship. However, you might be able to find out a few interesting things about the corpse fleet as you were going through the computer systems. And you might even just know things because you guys know stuff.
Activate their personal log.
Well, yeah, let's take a browse through their recent communications and see what we can
Yes.
find out
Okay.
about their numbers, what their sort of plan of attack is for getting at the stellar generator, all that stuff.
Give me one last computer's check just for old time's sakes.
No, I refuse.
Mr. Akira, give me a
Nice.
computer's check. Oh, that was a crappy roll.
Oh, fail.
It's a 33.
Believe it or not, it's actually all you needed was a 30, so you're fine.
There we go.
There you go. You look through, actually, Akira knows. Tuttle's
Wait, does
tired.
Akira speak Eoxian?
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
He
All right.
does.
So everybody important speaks Eoxian. Great.
That's correct. Only the smart people know how to speak Eoxian.
Right. Let's all talk Eoxian amongst ourselves, and
That's a
then
good
we'll just
idea.
gesture at the Vesk to do work.
I can also speak diabolical.
Actually, Mo would prefer it that way. That way you don't bother him as much.
You know several things. You actually have been able to look at some of the scans and some of the schematics inside there. There's not a lot, but there was enough to sort of give you some information. You know that the massive vessel, that's the Empire of Bones, that is bigger than even a colossal starship. It's practically bristling with capital weapons, and like most Corpse Fleet starships, it doesn't contain any atmosphere. Many explosions of the ongoing battle are partially clouding the Empire of Bones sensors, as you see in the readouts, and many of its weapons are trained on the ancient Kalishi defenses. It might be possible, you determine, to slip in closer to the vessel and board it, with those on board not noticing. A small ship, such as your own, could probably remain undetected for an extended period of time. And finally, most interesting of all, you see through the logs that the Empire of Bones has several hangar bays along its length, one of which is currently launching a small squadron of fighters, and leaves a wide open entranceway protected by only minor force fields that keep out small space debris. A small ship, such as yourselves, could probably be landed into this bay, as this is where it probably took off from. Or perhaps you can even land the ship on the Empire of Bones, and then you can walk by a spacewalk along the flagship's exterior into the bay. Interesting.
Perfect.
Well, if they're going to throw the doors open for us,
Well, not really. It's just that you happen to have a ship that might actually be able to get in. You also have the call signs and the what are those called? The determined friend or foe. I forgot the name of those. On
Beacon?
non fighters.
Or,
No. What are they called?
What, like a call response sign thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. But anyhow, you have an enemy ship. You managed to crack the computer, which was near impossible, and it looks like you'd be able to fool their sensors into believing that you're a friend.
Transponder.
is it an older code, but it checks out?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Getting there might be a little tricky, as the surrounding space is constantly illuminated by flaring beams of energy that lash out all around you. You can actually even see, even on this moon, explosions within the sky. That is how big the battle is.
So it's like a J.J. Abrams movie where I can see things that are on other planets from where I stand on this one.
Pretty much. It's not even that.
Is there,
It's
is there lens flare? Is it?
There's lens flare everywhere.
Pebbles sees it, if anything.
Now, if anything, you're reading it on the computers. You actually see it from the computers because you actually have readouts of what's going on in the battle.
You're going to need a crackerjack pilot on this one. I better take the comm. Better take the controls.
Hem to your station, mister.
So, All right, you guys are kind of wounded. Does anyone want to take a little rest, or are you guys just going to jump on the ship and do it on the ship?
When we get on the ship and go, I take a rest.
Yeah, 10-minute rest.
Okay.
Rest.
Okay.
I think I took a little damage, not much though.
I don't even think you. Oh, you took a. Oh, you took like 2 points.
Yeah, I think I'll not rest then.
All right, are you guys ready to take off into the
Cheddar
blue
be,
yonder?
is Cheddar
I
get a heal
suppose.
at this point, or is that something?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a 10-minute rest to get Cheddar back up, and I think top up my stamina or whatever.
You want to?
Did we find any loot, or does it not really matter?
Heal serum.
You actually, sorry, you did find loot. You found 8 dual acid dart rifles. You found LFD pulse gauntlets, and you found a couple of flash grenade 2s, like 4 of those.
Those are good because they will blind you forever.
They blind you for 1d4 rounds.
They probably don't work on undead, I bet.
They might not, to be honest. No.
I think it would. It's a light-based spell or a light-based effect, so I think it would very much. But does Tata want a healing serum before we get going?
I'm actually. Hold on a second.
I think you're totally healed.
I'm like
It's red
4
on my
points
screen.
down.
Oh,
So my regenerative blood will take care of that.
okay. Cheddar, I know.
I'm
has
sorry,
a
you have
stripe of red on
regenerative
it.
blood?
I do.
Oh, good
I was
God.
starting to wonder who's weirder, Tuttle or Rusty. It's kind of a tie
Or
right
Cheddar.
now.
Cheddar's a
Really
freaking
standing-
robot goblin.
Cheddar's pretty weird
Actually,
too.
Mo at this point must be so freaked out because the demon, the Aeon, and the undead guy were wandering around.
We haven't even gotten
Yeah.
into stuff like my climbing suckers.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have climbing suckers. You're an Aeon. You have a bulging eye. You have regenerative blood. What the hell? What the hell?
See,
Tuttle?
Rusty's at least got a coherent theme. I'm a grab bag. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the end of the Hobbit, where you come back to the Shire and everyone's like, "What?" And they don't even like recognize you. You've changed so much. Tuttle, what happened
Also,
to you?
correction for Rusty, it's not demon, it's devil.
Huh?
Just a correction.
No difference.
You
Okay.
said demon.
Literally no difference.
Same
They're
thing.
exactly the same.
Yeah, okay,
There's
sure.
a huge difference.
Exactly the same thing.
No, that's
Exactly
true,
the same thing. Demon,
That's like saying a
devil.
fire elemental is the same as a water elemental.
That's right. They are
the
both
same.
elementals.
Yes, they
You're
are
exactly
both
right.
elementals. That's exactly
That's right. They are
They
the
come from they come
same
from completely
thing.
different places. Nope.
Next
Same
year's
thing.
Australians and New Zealanders are the same thing. It's
Not
ridiculous.
the same.
Nobody could possibly think that.
Oh, that's awful.
Demon, devil, deity, all the same thing.
So let's board the big ship.
All right.
Right. I'm not from southern New Jersey. I'm from northern New Jersey. God damn it. Very different.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So we're going to land into that bay. I believe Akiro said he was going to pilot the ship. Is that?
I think that's probably the best person
I mean,
to do
is
it.
that?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
what?
so since this is Mo's ship, he's just going to start handing out orders.
Like when you go in, don't kind of like stay away. Like don't like go directly at it.
Well, we had a choice. You could park inside the ship or on the ship.
Yeah, well, inside it, but just don't look threatening when you're flying at it.
Oh no, I flight straight and narrow.
Are you
I
going
like-
to
I
fly
actually like
casual?
landing on it, but that's fine. But
Keep your distance, but don't make it look like you're trying to keep your distance.
No, I'm an expert pilot, so
Okay, so now,
Oh,
now that
by the way-
everyone's had their say, we all know that I actually have the highest piloting skills. So, why don't you
Wait,
all
do
get to
you?
your
I
stuff?
might have-
Yes, we've
I
had
think I
this
put 11
conversation
ranks.
like 5 times.
no, but we just leveled. We just leveled though.
Okay, hold on. Let's find out.
Oh, jeez.
At this point, I commandeer Rusty. You are the captain of the ship. As the owner, I need a captain for my charter, and
Yes, I sit in the
So
captain's
plus
chair.
18.
and Akira, you are the pilot for the ship.
I think Rusty has a
Everyone-
plus 18 too. What is Rusty?
Wait,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you have a plus 18. I do not. I have less, but I am
Ah,
better roller. And I say everyone should button up.
Actually,
It's like,
that is
oh
true,
my
as a
God.
matter of fact, but
he's like, I have less, but I'm better at rolling dice. Therefore, I should be the pilot.
Exactly. And also button up.
When should I
Make
mention
sure
that
you.
when should I mention that I'm a plus 19?
there
Nice.
we go.
No
Really?
way. No
Are you
way.
serious?
No, I actually remember
Are you
that from
kidding
a previous
me?
conversation.
I've
Great.
tended to be the science officer, but technically I've got a good piloting score too.
Well, yes,
Wow.
he has intelligence and piloting.
I can take ranks in pretty much everything at every level. So
You know what? I'm calling
That's
it Tuttle. This book is
crazy.
your book. This is the one where you get to shine. Everyone else has had their moment. Now you get to take over. You are the god. You are good at every skill. You can literally see in the X-ray realm. You have suckers, regenerative blood. You take over. You're the captain, man. You're the captain. Who's the captain? Tuttle's the captain.
I'm the captain, but he can do stuff. That's fine.
no, I'm willing to let one of the other guys fly.
Whoa.
Make sure that you put your helmets on. By the way.
Oh yes, I have to. Yeah, I have a special helmet that you can't see. I'm just not going to worry about it. It's part of the disguise that you saw me put on earlier when I disguised myself to look really undead. Yeah, you remember that.
Are you going to be able to hear comms though and stuff?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay.
It's fine.
If he's pretending to be undead, he shouldn't have a helmet on.
Right, exactly. All part of this disguise. Remember, you saw when it happened. It was pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, I was not born yesterday. I was born during the day, but not yesterday.
Yes, I was about to say. Can I see your sense motive? Never mind. Let's not worry about that.
Nah, but like it doesn't really. I don't know how much it actually applies to player characters, to be honest.
I don't either. It's if there is an opposed check, I suppose you'd do it. But in the meantime, it's just conversation. All right. So, at any rate, what I think we know is we're taking off on this ship.
Yes. Are you ready to take off?
Mo ship.
Yes.
Are our seat backs and tray tables in the upright and locked position?
Mo is going to come around
No.
and get any drinks and snacks and garbage you might have.
Is this a smoking flight? Because I just wanted to check.
No, but your old ship was smoking, as it's now cratering.
Ah,
Yeah.
I guess the pets stay here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, the pets are dead. That's right. The pets are. They have no little.
Actually,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I cast life bubble on the pets, and they can come with. Yay!
No way. Do you have
Wait a
life
minute.
bubble?
No,
I do.
you did
I do.
not. What's
I
what's
do.
a duration for that? I want to see that run out of time. Just boom.
Pretty damn long.
Really,
You do.
It's a
You have
first-
it.
It's the first level spell.
There we go. Life bubble.
really.
Bring them pets over.
Let me just check the duration. It's loading. It's pretty long, though, I think.
Hey, look, Crackers jumped onto Mo.
aw.
Yeah, Mo is not sitting there.
Hooray!
Oh, it lasts forever.
Wow, 1 day
Lasts
per
for 1 day
level.
per level.
Oh my god.
I actually put it on all of us. I think I can.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
that would be really
amazing.
useful to me. That'll help in my
might,
disguise.
might as well put it on all of us, and we could actually not even have to have helmets on.
Crackers and the Squawks are kind of like our R2D2 and C3PO. They're kind of a log for the ride. But we'll leave them in the command center while we go raid.
Wow.
That's a good call with life movable.
That's a good call. All right, you guys are all on the undead ship. You have a undead corpse sitting there staring off into space. It's very unsettling. What are you going to name
Hey, I
your
find that
new
very
ship?
insulting. Oh, you meant the other undead. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, that's true. There's many undead corpses on the ship. What are you going to name the ship? Mo.
I would
It's
suggest-
Mo's ship. He gets to name it, right?
Mo, I suggest Good Ship Lollipop.
No. Actually, that is a good name. Good ship lollipop it is.
Now, I was thinking since the old one's the Sunrise Maiden, this one's the Midnight Maiden.
That's very good
That's
too.
actually pretty
Dawn of the
good.
Maiden.
That's actually pretty good.
The Dawn Maiden.
Okay, sure, yeah. That's all right. Midnight. Mo's very
The
good.
Midnight Maiden.
Midnight Maiden or
great
Good Ship Lollipop. Either one.
I like Dawn because Dawn of the Dead.
Nah, Midnight Maiden's even better. That's my vote. I love that name. That's a great name.
Good one. Good name.
All right, the Midnight Maiden. You ready to take off?
Light this candle.
All right, you take off, and sure enough, this thing's got some oomph as it takes off, and it's a good thing you did because it looked like that some other ships were coming nearby, and you kind of pass a few as you blast off. It looks like some others were coming to investigate the building. As you leave atmosphere and life bubble comes in, it is bizarre as you are flying Well, it's like flying in a convertible in outer space because there is no atmosphere. It's just open. It is bizarre.
Crazy.
The surrounding space is constantly illuminated by flaring beams of energy that lash out on the system's control moons and gouts of incandescent flame pulled from the suns by the gravity pulses. The ancient weapons are wildly inaccurate and fire haphazardly, often fading out before reaching their targets or detonating in apparently empty space. But even so, the Corpse Fleet Armada is beginning to show signs of extensive damage. The largest of the Corpse Fleet vessels are enormous, bigger than many space stations. They are surrounded by explosions and debris, both from its own hull and from the escort ships that were destroyed protecting it, forming a cloud that blocks most efforts to get a clear image of its exact shape. However, blasts from the massive ship's powerful weapons clearly mark it as the most effective member of the Armada. As for the super weapon itself, it seems to be pulsing in energy as if it was protected by a shell of pure light, although the constant barraging of the capital ships is slowly but surely weakening the outer shell as you are starting to see it get less and less bright. It's only a matter of time before the Armada wears down the system's defenses. You figure you have maybe a day or two at most.
All right.
All right, so we should continue to fly to that open bay hangar and land on that, so the capital ship?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever it
yep,
is,
the Empire of
yeah.
Bones. We'll pick that up next time because you're going to have
yeah.
to go through
The debris.
the debris and the defenses and the other ships to get there. So it's a little bit to get there, but we'll go through that. It's actually pretty fun.
Okay.
Hopefully there's not a space monster that damages our new ship. Right,
Yeah,
Rusty?
like that last one. That was
Like
awful.
that last time.
Yeah,
You're-
it's terrible. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I defeated it, of course, as Cheddar's recordings were able to testify. So.
Hey everyone, Steve here. So one thing I wanted to talk about is GM issues with books like this. This is one of the trickiest books I've ever had to run, and I'm going to tell you why. These are called adventure paths, and now obviously the whole reason you're running these is because you want to go on a path. You want to run the adventure as written. Now at the end of this book, there is a lot going on. There is this gigantic war. They're on a planet. There's a super weapon. They have their ship. There's a million things they can do. But the proper answer and the way the book is written is that they're supposed to take their ship and fly it and infiltrate the Empire of Bones. Now, the book is called the Empire of Bones. The actual ship is called the Empire of Bones. So you would think, oh, maybe we need to attack and infiltrate the Empire of Bones. The thing is, every instinct in your body almost says, no, that's wrong. Shouldn't we be infiltrating the stellar degenerator? Shouldn't we be doing something with that? Wouldn't that be more fun? And I really was wondering, how on earth am I going to steer these guys? Because they have secretly, especially Bob, been telling me over and over again in messages for years that they want to steal the stellar degenerator. They want to take it over. They do not want to, be good guys. They want to do everything in their power to take over the stellar degenerator and not destroy it. So how on earth, as a GM, am I supposed to very carefully nudge them towards going onto the Empire of Bones, attacking that ship, and then maybe, just maybe, using the Empire of Bones and the fleet to destroy the stellar degenerator? Because that's what's, quote, supposed to happen. Now, how do you deal with this? Like, some people will say, well, just let them do whatever they want. Maybe they do take over the stellar degenerator and all of that. Well, to be honest, one of the main reasons I do this podcast is because I want to actually run the game as written. Yes, if this is your home game, you probably could do that and write some really cool adventure inside the stellar degenerator and have them fight like really weird stuff from a million years ago. But that's not what this adventure path's about, and that's not what the show is about. So I have to be very careful. So what did I do to take care of that? I'm going to tell you my secrets. First of all, I blew up their ship. That was probably the easiest thing of all. By blowing up their ship, it sort of puts them at a huge disadvantage, and they realize, okay, we're in a ship that's drastically underpowered. However, it is a ship that is a bone ship, and it is an Eoxian ship, which means that we should be able to slip into the fleet undetected. So I kind of told them that. I also very gently said, oh, by the way, the stellar degenerator is completely covered in a shield that an entire armada can't get through. You will not be going to the stellar degenerator. End of story. I also had to say, in no uncertain terms, that the Empire of Bones was open to space. It seemed to be relatively undefended for some ship to sort of fly into or next to, and again, slowly, gently nudging them in that direction. And to be honest, it's kind of cool taking over a huge mega capital ship. Yeah, it's not the stellar degenerator, but it's still kind of fun. I also had one more trick up my sleeve. Now, I'm not going to tell you who I did this with, but I always do this. Okay, in the Age of Worms, again, I've mentioned this for about the trillionth time, there is a part in the Age of Worms where somebody gets taken over by a doppelganger. It is one of the coolest parts of the adventure, if not any adventure I've ever run, and I had to find someone who wanted to be taken over by a doppelganger. And they don't even know when it happened. So I called up Chris and I said to him, look, something's going to happen. I kind of approached him and he said, awesome, that's great. I definitely want to be taken over by a doppelganger. I told him that his actual character would be okay. It would be like in a prison somewhere. And then I gave him a code word that I would use during the game, he would know that he is now the doppelganger and that at an opportune time, he should attack the party and try to kill them. And sure enough, it worked like clockwork. What actually happened was during an adventure, they were like in the middle of this really crazy area that was trap filled. It looked like Chris's character died. Everybody freaked out and tried to save him. And then all of a sudden his character turned into a doppelganger and started to kill them. And it freaked everyone out again. It was like a double freak out and it was great. So they had no idea what was going on. And then Chris didn't even know where his character was. Back to Dead Sons, I secretly spoke to one of the PCs and gently said, look, I'm telling you that you might want to do this. And I asked him if this guy could help out at nudging the party in that direction. And they agreed. And that's something you can do, is that if you need or have to force your party to go somewhere, you need an accomplice. You need some inside man. You need somebody to help you out as the GM to push everyone along. And you know what? I do this all the time. It's kind of fun for the player because they feel like, obviously, they're like on your side and they're working with you. Who it is, I'm not going to say, but I will say it's one of the 4 people who's playing. So it's not like an NPC showed up, which is also something you can do. That's a third way to help out. An NPC show up and sort of say what you're supposed to do. That's probably the most common way to do it, but I actually don't like to do that whenever possible because it feels very forced. I'd rather either organically do it or get a NPC on my side or get a PC on my side and have them help me from the inside. It's a little bit more fun. So with that, it looks like we're on track, and if things ever get a little bit off track, I have my inside man there to sort of steer them in the right direction. Hopefully, they don't go off on too much of a tangent, and you're going to see, especially over the next couple of weeks, this is going to keep happening. They're going to keep wanting to do things that aren't necessarily part of the adventure, and a combination of my inside man and myself is gently nudging them in the right direction. Anyhow, for those of you trying to steer your parties in the right direction, hopefully this helps you out. But with that, let's get to this week's show notes. So once again, everybody, new podcast every single Tuesday, every single Friday. New podcast is on iTunes, Android, Spotify, anywhere you can find them. And don't forget, Jason's Talking Combat column every Monday, Talking Plaguestone every single Thursday. Plaguestone's getting pretty crazy. We're about halfway done with that. It's up to episode 15. So it looks like around episode 30 we'll finish that. So about halfway. good time to jump in now if you want to jump in and start listening to it. It's actually really getting fun because everyone's starting to get into their characters, and it's at that point of the story where everyone builds characters thinking that they're going to go in a certain direction, but now they're not. They're like going in weird directions they didn't expect, and they're doing things they didn't quite expect, even from their own characters. And they're developing organically. It's a lot of fun to see. Do, of course, check out Discord, where you can play lots and lots of games. Just go to discord.ruleforcombat.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Check out the Reddit channel. Check out the Patreon. And then finally, do check out Jason's Lost Omens character guide review. It's up on the website, just rollforcombat.com. Really popular. That review was second only to the core rules review, which I imagine is because everyone wants to have, character guides. Anything to do with character development, everyone's really interested in. And don't forget, something else is coming. That's right. The Starfinder Character Operations Manual. That's the new character guide for Starfinder. Jason's also going to do a new review for that, and that looks really good. If you like Starfinder and you like really cool stuff, I'd say pick up that book. But a much more detailed review is going to be coming on the website very, very soon. Anyhow, with that, thanks for listening, and I'll see and talk to you guys next week.
You've been listening to Roll for Combat, a Starfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com or drop us a line at contact@rollforcombat.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and other social media platforms. You've been listening to Roll for Combat. Until next week, always remember it's all fun and games until the healer runs out of spells.